Once upon a time, in a faraway place called Liberty Land, lived three righteous bros, T, Lauren, and Shane. They loved their liberty. Liberty Land was a cool place. People did what they want and followed the non-aggression principle. T was interested in visiting Lauren and finding out what was in his underpants. Indeed, quite a few people were keen to know Lauren better, but that's another story. Anyway, there was just one little problem in Liberty Land. Sometimes a wild animal would come around, catch rabies and bite some people. Most of the wild animals were peaceful and not a problem. Some people even liked them. So one day, T decided to build a barrier to keep out the wild animals so that he would feel safer. However, the barrier that T built enclosed Shane's property as well. This could make life complicated. Shane was sad about this. He liked the wild animals and thought they added value to his life. However, the barrier was built on common land, so it didn't violate Shane's property rights. And although the barrier wasn't perfect, it did keep out many wild animals and reduce the attacks. T and Lauren were happy about this. Shane didn't like it, but of course it was legitimate to acquire the common land and develop it by making it a little safer. This also gave T property rights over the previously unowned land that he had enclosed, so it was quite legitimate for him to exclude the wild animals and use the newly acquired property as he saw fit. There could be some debate about whether T can treat Shane as a tenant when he leaves his home and goes onto T's property, but T is not that kind of guy. Irrespective, I think it's fair to say that T's property rights over the land he enclosed comes with the right to determine who comes in, whether they be human or non-human animals. Of course, Liberty Land doesn't exist, but it isn't just a complete fantasy. So what's real? Animals such as chimpanzees form patrols to exclude competing males from entering their territory. One suspects this is to monopolize the scarce food resources, mating opportunities, and help maintain their personal safety. Similarly, many tribal peoples employed warriors to roam their territories and control the movements of both dangerous predators and outsiders. Stateless societies such as ancient Ireland also employed warriors to patrol their territories and regulate the movement of outsiders. So I suggest that borders, when freely created, are both consistent with property rights and likely to happen, even without governments. Their scope and means of operation will probably be quite different to government borders, but some kind of controls on movements would doubtless arise. Are government borders legitimate? They have been acquired and maintained through violence, so they are not legitimate government property. On the other hand, since they are the borders we now have, and since they are funded by the residents' money, then the residents should have a say in how the borders operate. Those who don't wish to have borders should not be required to fund them, but at the same time they have no right to deny others the liberty to operate borders, so long as they don't violate other people's property rights. So that's it, the proprietarian argument for borders. If you'd like to discuss this, please add your comments below. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Thanks for listening.